Kale had been a miner on the remote asteroid belt of Zareth 5 for nearly 3 cycles, scraping precious ores from jagged rock faces while the suns above scorched the barren landscape. The mining company, an interstellar conglomerate known as the Barons Guild, demanded endless work for barely enough rations to survive. He had long since lost hope that anyone cared about the lives of solitary miners, who were icily replaced if they faltered. One evening, after another grueling shift in the tunnels that rattled with the hum of machinery, Kale returned to his isolated quarters. The sky was a sickly amber, casting long shadows across the jagged mining colony. A chill wind whistled through the corridors, carrying dusts and the faint metallic smell of the mines. Kale felt the weight of exhaustion pressing him down, the loneliness of months without real human contact gnawing at him. As he rounded a bend near the outer wall of the settlement, something unusual caught his eye. Against the dim glow of the asteroid's artificial lights, he saw the figure of a girl suspended from a pole, her body swaying gently as though carried by an unseen wind. A crude, hand-painted sign hung beneath her, and the words seemed to pulse under the flickering light. The Baron never forgives. Kale's breath caught in his throat. He approached cautiously, unsure whether this was a trap or some twisted warning from the guild. The girl's eyes were closed, and her body seemed fragile, almost weightless. Though she hung from a harsh metal pole, her skin had a faint luminescent sheen, like moonlight caught in liquid silver, and her hair floated around her head as if it were alive. She was not human. "Hello?" Kale called softly, stepping closer. The moment he spoke, her eyes snapped open, Tewera-wide, glowing faintly in the dark, and full of a strange intelligence that seemed far beyond her appearance. For a heartbeat, Kale thought she might vanish entirely, like some kind of illusion, but she remained suspended, calm and still. "Don't," she whispered, her voice melodic, but strained. "Don't come closer. He will know." "Who?" Kale asked, confused and wary. "The Baron? What has he done to you?" She shook her head, the strands of hair around her face shifting like liquid. "Not yet, but he always knows. Always." Her gaze darted toward the mining colony, toward the flickering lights that marked the guild's presence. "If he sees me alive, he will hunt you too." Kale's heart pounded. He had never imagined encountering an alien here, much less one who seemed so vulnerable yet so powerful. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said. "I can help you, I promise." She stared at him for a long moment, as if weighing the truth in his words. Finally, she said, "I don't have much time. If you want to help me, you must follow my instructions exactly." Kale nodded quickly. "I will. Tell me what to do." She slid a small device from her belt, a glowing orb no larger than a fist hand, tossed it gently to him. "This is a locator. The Baron has eyes everywhere. Place it in the eastern tunnel near the vent, then step back and do not speak." "Do you understand?" Kale took the device, feeling the faint hum of energy coursing through his fingers. "Yes," he said, "I understand." She swung her legs down from the pole, landing lightly on the metal platform. Her movements were astonishingly fluid, almost ethereal. Kale had to remind himself she was real. "Follow me," she said, quickly, before they notice. He did as she instructed, his heart hammering in his chest. They moved through the narrow corridors, ducking behind machinery and crates. She led him to a vent system that ran deep into the asteroid, pointing toward a section marked restricted access. "Place the orb here," she whispered, and Kale obeyed, pressing it gently against a metallic panel. The orb fused with the vent's surface, glowing brighter for a moment, then going dim. "They'll think it's part of the system," she said. "The Baron will never know we were here." Kale exhaled, feeling a mixture of relief and fear. "Who are you?" he asked, quietly. The girl hesitated, her glowing eyes meeting his. "I am called Naira. I am an exile. I was once part of the Baron's inner network. Before I learned his cruelty, he does not forgive mistakes or mercy. He destroys those who fail him, or those who show compassion." Kale's stomach turned. He had seen men disappear from the mines, never to be heard from again. Why are you here, hanging from that pole? Why risk everything? Naira's expression softened, almost because he is hunting someone else. Someone innocent, and I cannot let him. I cannot watch more die because I stayed silent. Kale felt an unexpected surge of respect for her. Despite her vulnerability, despite her alien form, she radiated courage. We'll stop him, he said firmly. We'll find a way. Her lips curved into a faint, bittersweet smile. You speak like a human still believes in hope. That is rare. Together, they navigated deeper into the tunnels. Naira moved with a grace that belied her small frame, avoiding patrols and security scanners. Kale, though clumsy and slow compared to her, tried his best to match her pace. They communicated mostly in gestures and whispers, but the trust between them grew with every step. Finally, they reached the control chamber, a massive room filled with holographic displays and glowing panels. Naira tapped into the system, her fingers leaving trails of light across the holograms. We need to redirect the Baron's security protocols, she said. If we can confuse his network for just a few cycles, we can escape. Kale watched in awe as she manipulated the alien technology with ease. You were made for this, he whispered. I was trained for obedience, she said, her voice tinged with sadness. But I choose mercy now. That is my rebellion. With a few final keystrokes, alarms silenced, doors unlocked, and the path to the surface opened. They ran, hearts racing, toward the asteroid's rim, where the twin suns glared over the barren horizon. Kale glanced at Naira as they moved. The faint glow of her skin seemed almost like hope itself, and he realized he had never met anyone like her, not human, not alien, but something extraordinary. When they reached the cliff edge overlooking the empty expanse, Naira paused, her eyes scanning the horizon. We're not safe yet, she murmured. Kale turned to her. I don't care. I just want to be with you now, to help you. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Her gaze softened. You are foolish and brave. Perhaps that is why I trust you. For a long moment, they stood in silence. Two beings from different worlds, united by circumstance and courage. Then, without warning, Naira reached out and took his hand. It was small, cool, and yet full of energy, and Kale felt a surge of connection that he could not explain. The Baron never forgives, she whispered again. But perhaps we can. Kale nodded. Then let's not give him the chance to try. Together, they leaped from the cliff onto a hovercraft Naira had hidden nearby, engines humming to life, as they soared above the mining colony, leaving the cruelty and oppression behind. Kale looked at Naira and realized that his life had changed forever. In a galaxy ruled by fear and greed, he had found someone who defied it all, someone who believed in mercy, courage, and hope. The twin suns glinted off the asteroid fields, and Kayaka knew, for the first time, that freedom was possible, and not just freedom from the Baron, but freedom to care, to trust, and perhaps even love a being from another world. Naira glanced at him, her glowing eyes meeting his with an unreadable expression that seemed both warning and promise. Kale smiled, feeling an unfamiliar warmth in his chest. Whatever challenges awaited them, he would face them, not alone, but with the ailing girl who had shown him that mercy and courage could exist, even in the darkest corners of the universe. Above them, the asteroid belt stretched endlessly, glittering like stars scattered across a black sea. And for the first time, Kale felt he belonged not to a cruel master, not to the harsh minds, but to a new life forged in courage, trust, and the strange, undeniable bond between two souls from different worlds.